I will tell you, my relationship with him was very different than Christine and his. I never knew till later on that they were really struggling, but he and I never had any.
Kody Brown has officially crossed a line no one thought he would. In a shocking twist, he casually hinted that his ex-wives should still be helping to pay for Robyn's kids, cars, college, and all. That's right. The man who once declared, "My money, my rules," is now asking Christine, Janelle, and Meri to open their wallets for the only wife who hasn't walked out on him. The audacity sent fans straight into meltdown mode, with Twitter exploding and Reddit going full riot. Welcome to yet another chapter in the Brown family's never-ending cash grab saga, where divorce apparently doesn't mean financial freedom. During the tell-all, when Janelle was busy laying down her QuickBooks receipts like evidence in a courtroom, and Meri was recounting the time she was scolded for simply asking about land titles, Kody dropped his most outrageous bombshell yet. He argued that the ex-wives should keep pouring money into the family pot for Robyn's teenagers. Translation? You may have left me, but your bank account still belonged to my vision of family. The silence that followed could have cracked concrete. Christine's glare was sharp enough to slice through the cameras. Janelle's look screamed, "Forensic audit," and Meri blinked twice in disbelief, confirming she had actually heard him correctly. Even the host sat frozen, as if her cue cards had just burst into flames. But Kody, mistaking the tension for confusion, kept going. He leaned forward, arms folded like some self-righteous school principal, and began his sermon. According to him, the family has always pooled resources. Christine's kids, Janelle's kids, everyone benefited from tuition help and car funds. Divorce, in his mind, doesn't erase that responsibility. His buzzwords, sacred cow, and family equity, echoed through the studio, as though scripture and spreadsheets had suddenly merged. What he conveniently ignored was that Christine and Janelle often repaid those so-called communal funds directly from their side hustles, plugging holes in a sinking ship he refused to captain. Viewers at home didn't miss the sleight of hand. They caught how Kody lumped Christine's used sedans in with the brand new SUV Robyn drives. They noticed how he pretended his exes still owed money, as though divorce papers hadn't cut the financial cord. Hashtags like "Starve, pay your own kids," and "divorce means divide" flooded social media. On Reddit, grandmothers were swapping horror stories, armed with screenshots of Janelle's receipts like seasoned prosecutors. By the time cameras cut to commercial, the outrage had gone global. If looks could subpoena, Christine would have served Kody right there in the studio. Christine's body stiffened, her mouth set in a hard, silent line, the kind of expression only women who've weathered 40 years of betrayal can perfect. She didn't interrupt. She didn't have to. A single side glance toward Janelle said, "It all." Did he seriously just say that? Janelle's lips pressed together, her eyes narrowing behind her glasses, as though she was running numbers in her head. Viewers could practically hear the mental calculator clicking. Tuitions already paid, cars already covered, bills already patched. This wasn't new. This was history repeating itself, and Janelle had the receipts to prove it. Meri, ever the practiced diplomat, inhaled deeply and tried her best to keep calm, but the betrayal flickered in her face. A twitch of the eyebrow betrayed her real thoughts, and fans online caught it instantly. It was déjà vu of Leon's tuition fiasco all over again. Then came Christine's soft, audible tsk, caught by a hot mic and forever immortalized. As a meme. Social media looped it endlessly, captioning it. "Me when my ex asks for my Netflix password." The granite side-eye had gone viral. Meanwhile, Kody looked to Robyn for backup. She smiled nervously, tugging at a designer bracelet worth more than a year of community college tuition. That gesture only fueled fan rage. The studio lights even flickered, as if the universe itself rolled its eyes. Janelle, no stranger to this game, was already preparing her receipts. During the break, producers overheard her whispering, "I flagged those distributions 5 years ago. He knows the totals." Translation? Kody, don't test me. Out came her hard drive, the one labeled Brown Family Final, filled with spreadsheets and proof that Kody's story wasn't just misleading, it was an outright manipulation. Every dollar, every duplicated tuition payment, every shady reversal was there.
And it's because of the nuance of a breakup. And I don't know what this is going to lead to. I don't know what else is going to go on.
The paper trail doesn't lie. And this time the receipts cut deeper than words ever could. Buried inside Janelle's carefully color-coded binders was a smoking gun. Transaction after transaction that exposed Kody's financial sleight of hand. One entry in fall 2020, labeled Instrument Purchase Education, told the real story. Fans remember the confessional where Robyn proudly showed off her son's brand new violin, claiming it was covered by scholarships. Yet the ledger showed nearly $1,900 drained straight from Christine's cookbook royalties, the very money Christine believed was paying off kitchen remodel debt. Instead, half of it went into strings, bows, and a monogrammed case that never left Robyn's house. Janelle didn't just highlight the fraud, she printed it, sleeved it, and handed the evidence over like a courtroom exhibit. When Christine received the binder, she joked it weighed more than truly at birth. Meri's copy came with a sticky note that read simply, "Told you so. Love, Jay." But the real punch wasn't the dollars, it was the betrayal. Every time Janelle absorbed a hidden reversal or double charge, she tightened her own belt. She clipped coupons, delayed car repairs, skipped weekends away, all while Kody and Robyn upgraded wardrobes and booked private music lessons. It was a tax on trust, multiplied over a decade until the sacrifices added up to millions. For Meri, the coral binder dragged her straight back to 2014 when Leon's sophomore tuition came due. Flush with LuLaRoe commissions, she offered a large payment. Kody reassured her with that trademark hand-on-shoulder charm that the family fund would cover the rest. Equal shares, remember? But weeks later, Meri's account showed another tuition debit, this time from her own boutique proceeds. She called the bursar, only to find the bill was already paid. 2 identical payments, days apart. Kody waved it off as a refund issue. The refund never came. Now, years later, the binder revealed the truth. That payment was reversed quietly, rerouted back through the LLC, and funneled into a vendor called AZ Patio and Pergola. The same week, Robyn posted pictures online of our new pergola, grateful beyond words. Meri remembered trimming grocery budgets, skipping retreats, and buying generic cereal, all while her sacrifice paid for cedar beams and twinkle lights at Robyn's house. She pinched the bridge of her nose, lowered her glasses, and whispered the line older women use when fury turns into icy clarity, "Well, I'll be blessed." In Meri's world, that phrase is code red. A producer later revealed she spent the next break photographing every single page of Janelle's binder, mouthing totals silently as if preparing exhibits for trial. By the time she returned to set, her polite smile was sharp enough to draw blood. Sometimes the sharpest knives don't swing. They wait for court filings. Robyn, meanwhile, armed herself with a new buzzword like a shield. Recency bias. She pulled it out the moment the host asked why her household swims in luxuries while others count pennies. Stroking her alpaca cardigan, she insisted, "People only remember the latest things. They forget what I gave up in the beginning. It's just recency bias." Twitter aunties erupted in laughter before she'd even finished. Everyone knew the definition. Overvaluing recent events while ignoring the past. But in this case, the recent events included designer grocery runs, mortgage refinances, and shiny SUVs, while Janelle and Christine's recent memories involved Goodwill racks and coupon binders. If anything, recency bias should have made fans forgive Robyn's early years, not excuse her current spending spree. The internet pounced, renaming it fancy bias, bias toward fancy handbags. Christine's tight smile said it all. Bless your heart, but words still have meaning. Even the usually stoic host's eyebrows twitched north, proof that Robyn's spin had fallen flat. The crowning blow came when Meri, usually silent to a fault, leaned forward and asked softly, "Is recency bias what made my tuition payments show up under your patio expenses?" The air froze. Robyn blinked, tugged her cardigan sleeve, and avoided the question. Producers cut to commercial, but witnesses swear the room temperature dropped 10 degrees. By the end of the night, recency bias was trending online, but not the way Robyn hoped. Grandmas on Facebook started using it sarcastically. Meme pages plastered dictionary screenshots with captions like, "Forgot the milk? Must be recency bias." The buzzword didn't last a day before it collapsed into parody. Cornered, Kody shifted into parables, the oldest trick in his book. He invoked his favorite metaphor, the sacred cow. He lowered his voice to mock sermon pitch and declared, Money talk in this family used to be sacred cattle, untouchable. My exes are dragging the cow into the slaughterhouse and I'm fighting to keep it holy. The collective eye roll could have powered the studio lights. Everyone knew this wasn't about reverence, it was about control. Calling finances sacred was just narcissism in disguise. As long as money talk was off limits, Kody kept the power. Challenge it. And suddenly, you were the sinner. Janelle calmly dismantled his metaphor, reminding him that the fence line seemed to move every time Robyn wanted patio pavers. Christine added dryly, "Pretty sure the cow tipped over when you labeled violin lessons as family assets?" Nervous chuckles rippled through the crew. Kody, undeterred, pulled another page from the narcissist playbook. He reframed dissent as disloyalty. According to him, the wives weren't exposing financial lies. They were betraying the family legacy. Classic guilt grenade. Turn the victims into villains and shift focus from what he did to how they dared respond. For many viewers over 45, Kody's latest stunt felt all too familiar, straight out of office politics, church committees, and failed marriages. It's the oldest play in the book: punish anyone who dares to speak up. But this time, his guilt grenade fizzled. Meri, once the queen of polite silence, finally asked the question older women eventually master. And what legacy is that exactly? Her tone was porcelain polite, but the edge in her words could cut glass. Kody sputtered something about plural ideals, but the phrase landed hollow after 19 seasons of broken promises and disappearing wives. Backed into a corner, he tried to spin it as a plea for safety. "I just want everyone to feel safe discussing money," he said. Translation? Safe means silent, but Janelle's binder and Christine's glare made it clear. Those days are over. Sacred cow or not, the barn doors are open, the ledgers are loose, and this herd is stampeding straight into auditors, attorneys, and an outraged fan base that's been here before. So the women decided to do what Kody never expected: lay it. All out. Janelle printed 2 months of receipts, taped them across a folding table, and invited Christine and Meri to a budget reveal party. They came with pie. She provided highlighters. The results? Devastating. Robyn's grocery cart: imported prosciutto, artisan brie, organic berries in January, sparkling water by the case. Total: 1,824s. Janelle's grocery cart: clearance chicken, thighs, bulk beans, day-old bread, and 1 single bag of chocolate chips for morale. Total: 512, feeding twice as many mouths. Vehicles: Robyn rolled up in a brand new SUV, leather seats, 0 miles, $13,000 down payment. All financed through the family LLC. The same week, Christine had to pay $360 out of pocket for her minivan's brake job, canceling a birthday cake to cover it. Backyards? Robyn enjoyed a custom pergola and cedar sandbox worth over $11,000. Meri fixed her fence with recycled lumber from Craigslist, $50 and a plate of lemon bars. Kids extras? Robyn's son got 90 an hour private violin lessons labeled as educational assets, while Janelle's daughter was denied an SAT prep course, settling instead for secondhand textbooks off eBay. When Janelle stepped back, the color-coded sheets told the whole story. Robyn's spending marked in rich purple ink dominated the page, dwarfing the blue of everyone else's modest budgets. It looked like a bruise. Christine snapped a picture and sent it to their private group chat with the caption, "Remember the sacred cow." Within minutes, someone added a cartoon bull chomping on designer purses. Meri shook her head and sighed. "We used to joke that some of us shopped at Target and some at Tiffany. Turns out we were paying for both all along." No more whispered complaints. The receipts were laminated, locked, and ready for lawyers. Nothing mobilizes women over 45 like a fairness foul, and Kody just committed one on national TV. The fallout was instant. Within 15 minutes of airing, Twitter's knitting, Circle Corner gave birth to the hashtag #PayYourOwnKids. By sunrise, it was trending next to weather alerts and stock reports. On Facebook, a Sister Wives Over 50 group pinned a tuition calculator spreadsheet, showing Kody's demand could top $200,000 once you factor in dorms, vehicles, and tuition for Robyn's younger kids. Reddit became an army of auditors, piecing together receipts, zoning permits, and boutique invoices into a shared Google Doc, so detailed that one commenter joked, "The IRS should hire us. We work for snacks." Another produced a macro comparing Robyn's per-child expenses to national averages, concluding her teens live like Ivy League deans. TikTok went wild with skits of women in bathrobes answering fake calls from exes. Sure, I'll fund your new wife's kids, right after I build a unicorn ranch on Mars. The soundtrack? Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. Mainstream media couldn't resist. Good Morning America invited a financial planner who chuckled, "In 20 years, I've never seen a divorced spouse ask others to pay for kids that aren't theirs." TLC's own Instagram tried to play neutral, posting, "Thoughts on tonight's episode?" The replies hit 5 figures, 90% roasting Kody. When the intern tried hiding comments, fans reposted screenshots with the caption, "Deleted but not forgotten." Kody may dismiss it as jealous noise, but this isn't gossip. It's a digital archive. Tens of thousands of viewers tallying timelines and totals. Outrage like this doesn't fade. It calcifies into petitions, sponsor emails, and court filings. Behind the scenes, the real storm began. Janelle's Scottsdale attorney drafted a 9-page demand letter requiring Kody to disclose every LLC withdrawal tagged education or vehicle since 2018. Failure to comply within 15 business days means a civil suit for conversion. Legalese for "you stole my money." Christine's publisher fast-tracked her memoir through legal review. Lawyers stripped out account numbers but kept every dollar figure, citing public interest. With Janelle's spreadsheets attached as exhibits, first-run sales could blow past 200,000 copies. And then came the IRS whispers. A Reddit moderator and former tax clerk tipped off a regional field office. If investigators confirm unreported income or misclassified expenses, Kody faces 25% penalties plus interest, and an audit that could pierce his LLC protections. Goodbye Rolex, hello payment plan, even TLC is spooked. Legal ordered producers to preserve every second of raw footage discussing money, just in case subpoenas land. Season 20 contracts? Still unsigned. Robyn, sensing disaster, reportedly contacted a late-night tax relief firm, but settlements require admitting liability, and Kody's ego would sooner implode than admit fault. Meanwhile, Meri's estate lawyer quietly discovered her name was missing from key assets. He filed a preliminary complaint, freezing property transfers until courts decide ownership. Translation: Kody can't refinance Robyn's house or touch Coyote Pass without Meri's notarized consent. For the first time, the power balance is shifting. And so, the sacred cow Kody once guarded like a shrine has wandered straight into a slaughterhouse of auditors, lawyers, and furious fans. The family fund he swore was untouchable now looks like Swiss cheese, full of holes, leaking secrets, and drawing the IRS like flies to honey. The question isn't whether a reckoning is coming, but when. Will Kody cave to Janelle's demand letter or double down on denial? Will the IRS treat boutique receipts as taxable income and slap him with 6-figure fines? Will TLC choose chaos and film season 20, or cut their losses and walk away from the most expensive scandal in reality TV history? Now I turn the spotlight to you, our forensic fandom. If you were Janelle, would you press forward with a civil suit or settle quietly? To spare the kids? Which scares Kody most? An IRS audit, a tell-all memoir with dollar figures, or TLC pulling the plug on his paycheck? Drop your answers below. Be bold, be specific, and share your own sacred cow moments. I read every comment, I highlight your theories, and I keep receipts. Hit like to keep this investigation trending. Subscribe and ring that bell, because when subpoenas start flying, you'll want front row seats. The next upload is already exporting, and judging by the forecast, it's about to blow the designer pergola straight off Robyn's backyard. Until then, keep your binders handy, your passwords safe, and your sacred cows far from any man who still believes divorce means my money, my rules. Remember, knowledge is power, but receipts, they're pure fire.